Times Square.
Drew Levinson starts our teammate coverage tonight.
Thousands of demonstrators packed into Times Square, moving their Wall Street protest into the middle of Manhattan. Some shouted, while others danced. But they all seem to believe the system is slanted toward the rich. Mike and Margaret Vavona came from New Jersey. The parents of two college graduates lost their jobs and are afraid they could soon lose their home. What's the significance of being at Times Square?
It's the greatest place in the world. It's New York. If we can't have a say here, where are we going to go?
The protests have been peaceful for the most part, but police did arrest demonstrators when they refused to leave a Chase bank. From the crossroads of the world to a cross-section of America, protests like this one were held all across the nation on Saturday. In the nation's capital, demonstrators headed to a Bank of America branch, protesting new debit card fees.
We have come here!
We have come here!
To close our accounts! The people united!
There were demonstrations from Orlando to Seattle.
Don't take it anymore!
Hundreds marched through the streets of Philadelphia. It was a similar scene in Denver. Protesters in Arkansas descended on the steps of the Capitol, while hundreds rallied in the center of Oakland.
The process is broken and we got to fix it.
There's too many people that are not making any money, and there's 1% that are.
And until that gap closes, protesters across the country are vowing to continue. Drew Levinson, CBS News, New York.
Occupy Wall Street protests turned violent in other cities across the world, especially in Rome. Check out this video as police were forced to battle back protesters with gas and water cannon. Demonstrators set cars on fire and damaged dozens of buildings. Marches took place in several European cities as well as Asia and in Australia.
Occupy Iowa was on the move this morning. This local offshoot of the Occupy Wall Street protests left the park they were occupying near the state capitol and marched through downtown Des Moines. KCCI's Mark Talshek was there and continues our teammate coverage.
We're gonna beat back the bank attacks. We're gonna beat back the bank attacks.
Des Moines police gave marchers the right-hand lane on Locust Street.
Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Their soundtrack full of passion with a chorus of frustration.
I've never seen anything like this.
On a chilly weekend morning, their 16-block journey through the heart of downtown Des Moines passed few onlookers, but those who saw the spectacle seemed supportive.
Don't really know if it's going to do any good or not, but you got to start someplace.
Put people first! Put people first!
The finish line was Wells Fargo Bank. No one was working, of course, so a message was left at the front door.
Sorry we missed you! Sorry we missed you! We'll be back! We'll be back! Hugs and kisses! Hugs and kisses! Occupy Des Moines! Occupy Des Moines!
I feel that we have some things that we need to say, and when we are in a group, it's easier to say.
Many we spoke to were not marching for themselves.
My grandfather has to work in order to pay for staggering medical bills because he has arthritis. Does that make sense to you?
I know so many people that don't have jobs, that are underemployed, and they're just so depressed and so much despair in this country that they don't think that it's worthwhile to come down here.
The big banks got bailed out.
The big banks got bailed out!
While we got sold out.
While we got sold out!
Mark Talshek, KCCI News Channel 8, Iowa's news leader.
The Des Moines Police Department say in their application for the march permit, organizers were expecting anywhere from 100 to 5,000 people. In the end, the crowd was estimated at around 300.
Turning to commitment 20.